Hi, my name is Bill Keogh. I'm the operations manager here at Arborjet, and I'm going to walk you through rebuilding a Supersonic Air Knife valve assembly. That's this right here. This valve assembly is used in both the LT and the HF models, so this will apply to both of those devices. Okay, so here we have all of the tools and parts you're going to need to assemble this, this valve setup. And so what we have here is a 1/2-inch wrench, 9/16 wrench, an adjustable wrench. We also have Parker O-ring grease, O-ring lube. You can also use any kind of valve grease. This is kind of a brown looking grease, and what it does is keeps all the parts moving together smoothly and helps prevent the O-rings from breaking down over time. Typically the one that's going to fail most often is this white one here. This is what's doing all the work. It's closing off the air supply through the tube when you're activating the trigger. So this is one that you'll see that'll go. There's also another one here which just keeps the air sealed inside the control body, and then I'll go through all the other parts as well. You can order these O-rings separately in an O-ring kit here. And that'll have all three of those devices, all three of those parts in it, and that's all you're really going to need. So first I'm going to show you from scratch how to put one of these together. First we're going to start with, this is what we refer to as the stem guide. And so that goes around the stem, which is this part right here. One thing that's kind of hard to see, and the camera might not pick it up, is there's actually inside here a channel for an O-ring. And what that does is it provides just some, it decreases the friction when the stem guide is sliding up and down on here. So to get it in here, it's a little tricky, but you just kind of want to push it into the hole here. This is probably a little bit easier without gloves. And then use the back of one of these to push it in. So it's in there right now, but it's not seated inside the channel just yet. So you kind of just work this thing in there and get it lined up until it just pops right in. Okay, now that that's in there, I don't know if you can see that. It's going to be seated inside there. And the first thing we're going to do is just put a little grease on there inside here. Don't be shy with the grease. It'll keep that O-ring fresh and keep everything gliding nicely. I'm actually going to put on gloves because I like to use my hands to get the grease on everything else. It just makes it a lot easier. So now that that's in there, we're going to assemble the base cap here. This threads together here, but we have to put this O-ring in the middle. So what's important is that the O-ring is lined up on this guide right here. So I'm going to slide this into place. Okay, so that's right inside the channel there. You don't want it to be crooked. And then I'm going to tighten these down. And I don't want to over tighten these, so this is where I use these wrenches, but I want to do just about one rotation just to make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, right there. So there we go, that's in there. And now we're going to put the stem guide on here, which is done by flipping this upside down. You see you have a hole right here on this side, and we want to line that up with that hole. It's actually on both sides. So we're going to put this in here, and we're going to slide this dowel pin right through. And then we're going to put this collar right down like that, and that's what holds that pin in place right there. Next, we're going to put some grease on the inside of the shaft here. Slide this on this way. So see, that's nice and smooth there. We're going to put our spring on. And then we'll just join these together. Engage those threads. See, now it's engaged, so I just got to tighten it. So you're going to tighten it by holding the stem, this part right here, and the top part here. Get that all the way down. You can just do this by hand, and then now that's locked in place there. Lastly, I'm going to put the large outer O-ring over. And that's going to sit right on there. So now a little bit, there's plenty of grease on my fingers, but I'm just going to get it on all the threads, on the spring, everything like that. On this O-ring right here, it's important to get it on there. And now it's all set, ready to go into your device. To learn more about our devices and our equipment and troubleshooting tips, subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit us at arborjet.com.